Like we told you, the big question, or as we told you, the big question is back to confrontational posturing after the bipartisan deal to retire IEBC commissioners lowered political temperatures almost 3 months ago. CORD wants the IEBC commissioners out of office by Friday. The Jubilee coalition says that does not stand anywhere legally, and the commissioners will only leave when a new team is in place. The commissioners say they are ready to go even today, as long as they have their send-off package. Let's first hear what CORD leader Raila Odinga said about this.
But if they think that they can get away with it, that way, I'm sorry. Let them know that it will not be tolerated. So we have not talked about resuming demonstrations, but I don't think that that is out of the way. You know, it is an option that is there.
Raila Odinga talking there, saying they must be out of office by Saturday, that is 1st October. Friday will be 30th September. In our studio tonight, our guest, Kipchumba Murkomen, Senator Elgeyo Marakwet County, Suna East MP, Junaid Mohammed, both were in the select committee that did this report. And of course, Thomas Letangule, IEBC Commissioner. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for making time for us for on the big question. Keep talking to us on Twitter. The hashtag is a big question. And on 22422. They're not going to leave by Friday, are they? Clearly. So I don't know what you're going to do as the CORD coalition.
I think that question can be answered best by...
You want me to ask him first if they're leaving by Friday?
Whether he's leaving on Friday.
Are you leaving on Friday?
I think it's him to tell us.
Hussein, you know, the report which was done by the Joint Committee recommended leaving, or rather vacation of office by 30th. But that report, that aspect of it was not put in the law. And as it is, you know, that report is not the law. Therefore, the law comes into effect on the 4th of October. That is when the act which has just been passed becomes the law. And that is the act which is bringing in this exit.
Right.
Yeah, so I think we need to be clear on that.
And that also means, it doesn't mean that on 4th you're exiting office.
No, it doesn't mean. You know, these are extraordinary circumstances, really, because we wouldn't have been talking about this. But remember, even under the law, Article 251, it doesn't provide, the law as it is, the Constitution, does not provide for resignation of a commissioner. It doesn't. Under that article, it only gives conditions on how a commissioner can be removed, and that is if there is violation of the Constitution, bankruptcy, or mental incapacity. Those are the only conditions. It doesn't provide for resignation. So we are operating outside the Constitution and the law, extrajudicial. And we offered to participate in it because we felt as commissioners we want to give people the way.
Okay.
I think the commissioner is taking us way back from where we came from. These people appeared before us as a committee, a select committee. They told us that they were willing to leave. There were many accusations that were brought against them by Kenyans because we did public hearings. But we said we don't want to get into those issues and see which one is a matter of importance or not. We agreed with them that they should leave office, and they did that on record, that we are ready to vacate office under political settlement if our dues can be paid. Number two, after that agreement, you know, the other issues are details. I expected the commissioner now to be at home to wait for his check.
No, what I'm saying...
I expected him to be at home to wait for his check to be delivered to him.
They have not negotiated. Have you negotiated the send-off package?
I don't expect him to be in the office at the moment. I don't know what he's doing there.
But they have not negotiated the send-off package.
You know,
which is a condition.
The negotiation part and payment part and how much they should be paid and when, that Murkomen can answer better. He's the custodian of the treasury.
Okay, and Murkomen, I want to pull up some graphics here. Just shows what exactly was in the report. What the report said. I don't know if we can have that. Right, that report said the current commissioners, this is part of the report, leave office when new commissioners are sworn in, which should not be later than 30th September 2016. That is on Friday. We don't have new commissioners.
That's the report.
First of all, I think we need to put everything into context. the discussion about commissioner resigning, selection of new commissioners, and all that is in the law. And that law is not there. I mean, it's there in having passed by Parliament, but it is not effective. The law gets effective on 4th.
Right.
Even the negotiations that Treasury has announced that they are going to do tomorrow, they will not be doing it within the law. There is no legal framework for that negotiation. The legal framework comes in on 4th.
Yes.
Even if they do anything between now and 4th, they must validate it after 4th so that it can have legal ramifications or implications or acceptance. So let's start by saying Parliament messed up by wasting a lot of time debating on the question of party hopping and delays that took place at that point in time, to the extent that, one, we never passed the law on time. Two, Parliament messed up, and actually we must own up as parliamentarians.
You messed up,
yes,
actually.
exactly.
The select committee
absolutely.
messed up.
Not the select committee. I'm saying Parliament, because Parliament makes the law. Let me conclude by not putting what Article 116 of the Constitution requires, that the law comes into effect 14 days after Gazette, or it comes into effect at that date identified under the law. So what we messed up is that we didn't put in the law the date that comes into effect. That's why there is a delay up to 4th. So we cannot really blame anybody else except the Parliament and ourselves, including legislators. But then leave that.
And you take that blame as well. Right?
Exactly. I mean, that's for both of us. Jeff Kong actually tried to initiate it in the National Assembly, and everybody said this document cannot be touched. By the time it was in Senate, we could not touch it because it would have to go back to National Assembly, and they had already gone to recess. So this was a better evil in the circumstance. But let's also go back to something else. These negotiations were done in good faith with the best interest of the country in place. There is no legal framework for the commissioners and constitutional basis for commissioners to leave office. There is nothing found against the commissioners, and there is no vacuum in IEBC. Even if the interviewing panel takes time, even up to next year, or even if up to 2018 post 2017, there is no vacuum. There is an existing commission. There are existing commissioners who have not made any mistake. They have already shown their indication and their desire that they want to leave. Once we meet the legal requirements for them leaving, if we can meet them tomorrow, if we can practically meet them in a week, if we can practically meet them in 1 month, definitely they will go. But we must not try to vilify public servants on grounds that are not provided for in law.
Well, Hussein, I think the senator...
But the last thing, let me just add, we agreed, as you see, there will be no vacuum. As soon as they will provide, under Article, the amendment you did, Article 33, Section 33 of the Act, they will, the new commissioners, the commissioners now will give an intention of resignation. This is something new we provided for. They will say, we have now accepted to resign. Based on that intention, then the package will now be announced, and then they will wait for the day now the new commissioners comes in place, and then they will do an exchange.
Okay. The part of the Parliament, I agree with him. Most of the things he's saying should be said by the Commission and the commissioners. There is no, the Senator should not defend them. The committee that we belong, me and him, we came up with a report and amendment to the Elections Act with timelines, and those timelines were not for nothing. They meant something. When we said in the report that new commissioners must be in place by 30th of September, the audit of the register must be in place by 30th of November. Listen. All those were because we didn't have the luxury of time. Otherwise, we'll have said the recruitment panel even should take 4 months to do the recruitment and advertise for a month and such kind of things. So this business of Murkomen saying there is no vacuum, as for us there is vacuum. There is serious vacuum. Because, let me explain why there is a vacuum. We have a vacuum in 2 ways. One, we have a commission in place that appeared before us and said, don't get into issues that have been brought before you by the public, we are ready to leave. On that basis, we said, we have not found any allegations on them because we did not investigate any allegations on them. Number two, we have a commission where 4 commissioners have written to the President. And that letter was tabled in our committee, and it has been adopted as part of the report of the committee. They said they are ready to leave office under these terms. It was adopted. I'm the one who presented it myself. Let me finish. Now, there are 4 commissioners who wrote to the President and said they are willing to leave office. Why do why does he want to keep them in the office more than
you actually
why is he mourning more than the briefed? Why is Murkomen mourning more than the briefed?
I think
you are actually almost saying right now, smiling and saying it wasn't even practical. Now how did you do it? I mean, what does that show? Let me just ask you, why did you do this? Why did you have an agreement that was clearly not practical?
I must admit, first of all, that I was the one who suggested the 30th of September, and Junet will agree with me. I mean, so many people even refused to accept my timelines because they looked impractical. The reason why...
You know that it was impractical.
No, it was practical then.
You knew that it was practical.
Yeah, we assumed, and that's the wrong assumption we did, that because it was a negotiated document, when it reaches Parliament, nothing was going to be touched. It would take a day to pass in National Assembly, or 2 days, and it would go to Senate for 2 days. That was the assumption. So that you had the all of September to do the interviews, because that was August. That was August. So and that is why my assumptions only remained in the report. They didn't get into the law. You know. Okay. Number two, I would like to encourage my friend Junet. There were things CORD wanted to this negotiation. They didn't get. That is what Junet is trying to prosecute on TV. They did not get it in the report.
Okay.
And since they didn't get, let me conclude. And since they didn't get in the report,
what is it that?
He cannot import them to the act.
Like what?
He can't import them to the act because they were not there.
Listen.
Okay. Let me give Lieutenant
allow me.
You'll answer.
Hussein, I think we are arguing over water which is already under the bridge. For us, we have given an indication for the sake of the country. We know we had constitutional protections. We know we do have. There were no provisions. But we agreed, because of all that noise, that we are ready to step down. And that is our position even now, to facilitate new people coming in. Therefore, Mr. Junedon and Honorable Murkomen, let us see the way forward. If these negotiations offers are made to us, which we agree in a dignified manner, the way it is, because there is, as he says, there is no allegations which was proved against us, all the commissioners. In fact, 3 petitions were brought subsequently, and none of it touched on us. None. Therefore, it is on our own willingness, and we have said we are ready to exit, to give way for new commission.
So tomorrow, what we gather is that the government has formed a negotiating team to sit with you. Already, Murkomen is saying it will be outside the law. I don't know how that's
true. That is true.
So what are you going to negotiate with him?
I mean,
the intention. Really.
I mean, we have already given our intention. We have not yet resigned. That must be very clear. We are in the IEBC. There is no vacuum there.
That's fine. Yes. What are you going to negotiate tomorrow?
If they call us and they tell us we have the following issues, we have this is, you know, they said in law a dignified exit. We want to see what that dignified exit is. You don't have in mind what a dignified exit should be. All we know is a dignified exit says you did nothing wrong, you have not done anything wrong, but because we just want you outside the law, this is what we want to offer you to exit.
Okay. We've always been working with a figure of about 200 million shillings.
I mean, don't take me to figures.
I'm saying we've always been working with that.
Yes.
We're quoting sources.
Yes.
We don't want to quote sources today because you're here.
Yes.
What are you going to demand?
No.
How much are you expecting?
I'm not going there because, as I said, that they said in law a dignified exit. We want to see, you have heard and I've seen your news here, saying that there is a committee comprising the Treasury, internal security, all that. Let us see what they come up with. What is that dignified exit they want to offer?
You're waiting for them to propose. You don't have anything to propose.
We have nothing to offer.
Okay. We propose, not to offer.
You see, for us, we are working on extraordinary. There's nothing there. So we are waiting to see what is it that is being offered.
Right. So what is responsible for this?
No, what I wanted to say about Senator Murkomen, he said that there are certain things that we wanted and we never got them.
Yeah.
If we were to get everything that we wanted, we would not have had an amicable settlement.
Absolutely.
So we had to give out some and take some.
Yes.
Even him, there are some things that I know he wanted there. One of them was IEBC commissioner should not be removed. And he never got it. Number one. And then number two, I want to say that these commissioners are saved in office up to the commencement date of the law, which is 4th of October. He can play around that time and say, I'm not going to leave office, I'm going to leave office. But once the law takes effect, and the mistake was Parliament, the way Murkomen has explained that we didn't say the commencement date, we just left it to be the 14 days as stipulated in the Constitution. Once that law takes effect,
What happened?
It will be incumbent with the people who are supposed to implement and operationalize that law to do it. They have no choice.
Okay.
And that is why I'm saying, if this this commissioner agreed that he is ready to leave office, and the people who are paying the treasury and others have agreed to negotiate with him, an honest man should leave office and wait for his payment at his home. No. Because why do you want to keep an office that you said you want to vacate? Must you be paid to vacate? Number one. Then number two, if they didn't want to vacate, we knew how to vacate the office. We knew how to do it. But we took the argument that don't prosecute our matter, we want to leave office. No, we don't do anything on that.
No, you can, but I want to respond to him.
You see, Honorable Junet, you can't say that we agreed that don't say we have no mistake. That joint parliamentary committee actually put an advert in the paper asking people, the whole republic, to bring accusations against the commission.
Which they did.
And they whatever was brought, they found nothing.
Okay, the question is asked. Okay, yes. Apart from that, fair enough with the point you've made. Yes. But this question is posed to you.
Yes.
Can you negotiate this at home?
Yes. No.
Can you negotiate and wait for the packet at home?
That one is an obvious one. I mean, we cannot negotiate that at home.
Well, okay.
How?
Well, I want to ask Murkomen this as he responds. There's a question that has been asked by CORD, whether this date of 30th, now that you said you're the one who brought it up, whether it was done, you know, cheekily or something.
No, you know,
because you've already you said yourself, you said yourself here that even after you proposed 30th of September, you knew very well it was not going to be put in the law.
No.
So there was nothing binding at the end of the day.
I actually expected that it should be put in the law. You know, the reason why I proposed the 30th of September is because my suggestion was that the new commissioners must have enough time to prepare for the next elections. So that in my thinking, and in many proposals that also came to the House, to the committee, most people were saying 10 to 12 months are good enough for a new commission. Okay. But let's also talk about something, and that's why I insisted that Junet is talking about things that he expected. The law, Section 33, and Junet was there, we passed this law, provides that what will happen is that the commissioners, when the law comes into effect on 4th, the commissioners will write an intention to the president that they are willing to resign. That intention is put together with the package that they are going to receive. So once the negotiation of the package takes place, they will know whether they will go or not. First of all, leaving of the commissioners is dependent first on the negotiation. Number two, is still dependent on the goodwill of the commissioners to write a resignation letter to the president.
To go or not to go?
Yes. They will. So that is the law. I'm reading the law. The law says, Article Section 33, every commissioner who leaves office will have to write. Let me just will have to write to the president. Now, the good thing we know is that they have deposited their word to the public and to the committee, and that they are willing to keep that word. Okay. How to operationalize it is that there must be law in place. In fact, even the work that panel, you remember the church has already appointed, I mean the religious leaders appointed 5 people. Those people are giving an intention of appointing those people, because legally they can only do that after 4th.
Okay, and you're going to keep your word?
Yes, absolutely. We are clear in our minds. We have given our word, and we are saying we will not be a stumbling block to the process.
And that is why I'll ask this question to Junet then.
Mr. Junet, Honorable Junet should not be worried about us.
Yeah, why
really let us look forward to recruiting the new team.
What is the problem?
And all we are requesting is that our negotiation should be done in a way that is also favorable to us.
To you. Yes. Okay, Honorable Junet, he's saying that, and I also want to ask you that. What is the problem really? Because even Thomas Derang, will read a tweet here, says, why all the hurry? There are no elections in a week's time. Let the handover be smooth. Let me just finish the question. They are waiting for a send-off package to live in a dignified manner. They have agreed to leave. What is the problem with waiting for that to happen? It's just another few days and then it happens. What is the problem with that?
You see, Hussein, the next election is approaching and there is no time. This coming election needs to be conducted in a proper way than the one that put Murkomen into office. The last one.
Were you not?
No, in terms of government, I mean.
You also voted
in terms of government. I mean in terms of government. So, you see, we need enough time for the commission to prepare for the next election. So, for that to happen, this confusion of the new commission and the old commission should be sorted out as fast as possible. And then, number two, these are not the first people government will be negotiating to send them off. when government wanted to get rid of Bernard Chunga, they paid him. Justice Gisheru, they paid him. Amos Wako, the new constitution came in, they paid him.
That is all they're waiting for.
Mudaura, they paid him.
That is all they're waiting for.
They know how to do it.
But that is all they're waiting for as IEBC.
And then number two, it is not within our mandate as opposition to negotiate with them and pay them. The taxpayers' money is domiciled at Treasury, which is run by Jubilee. So even when you listen the context and the argument that Senator Murkomen is putting through here today, after sitting with us for 30 days to do this report, he still intends to have this commission as long as he can.
Okay.
Not you now.
I think you need to rely on the nation. And I think we need to correct some things.
No, let me finish.
The most
let me finish, then I'll give you time.
you will not finish.
I'm just saying the way you argue. When you look at the context of his argument, he wants to keep this commission as long as he can. But you see, that is not going to be good for the country.
I don't know.
Let me finish. The country needs to have proper elections in 2017, electronic elections in 2017. That will require enough time for the commission to do a good job.
By the way, if you allow me, to talk only on this issue of time.
And preparation and
preparation.
Because some are worried about that.
One of the things we have been doing for the last 4 years after the elections is been preparing for the 2017 election. Nothing else. We, the current IBC, has put proper systems in place. As I have said repeatedly, our job is like a race. If the new team comes today, it's like we are just handing a baton on a relay to finish the race.
Okay.
We have done a lot for the team to come in and just finish the race.
Okay.
But let me just correct something Junaid is trying
to say. And you also talk about this when you say that current commissioners leave office. It's in the report. When the new commissioners are sworn in, you're saying even after, if they agree on a set of package within the next 5 days or 6 days, they'll still have to wait for the recruitment of new commissioners and to leave.
Absolutely. Actually, Junaid is confusing facts. The readiness of the new commissioners to run the next elections is not dependent on the old commissioners. It's dependent on the selection panel that will come in place on 4th. And we believe that if the selection panel can work day and night, they should be able to give us commissioners within the next 1 month, by November at least. But if you look at the timelines, because they will advertise for a week, they will then get the names, 14 days minimum, sorry, for 2 weeks. Then they will now do shortlisting, they will do interviews. So you have up to somewhere mid-November, latest is December, for you to have new commissioners. What these commissioners are going to do when the negotiations are over is to use Article 33, Section 33. They will now, all of them, write to the President, indicating that they are willing to resign their office, and their date of leaving the office is this particular day.
Okay.
There's another confusion that I want to correct that Senator Murkomen is creating. Number one, when the law comes to effect on 4th, as the Parliamentary Service Commission will appoint 4 people, and the religious
who are already appointed.
That commission, that panel will start working.
Yes.
It may take them 2 weeks, it may take them a month. They will recruit new commissioners.
Yes.
And he's saying that these commissioners have to write to the President to give intentions to leave. After that, let me ask you a question. When the selection panel finishes their work, they appoint 7 commissioners, 7 names. They submit 7 names to the President for appointment of 6. 9 names for appointment of 6 as commissioners, and 2 names as 1 as chair. So are we going to have commissioners that are done by the panel, and we are going to wait for this group?
But what will
happen? So the problem, what we want as far now, let me finish. Why I'm narrating that?
I thought you were active when you were passing this law.
Why I'm saying that? Why I'm saying that? The problem CORD has is that we want this process to begin. We're not
recruiting new commissioners.
Of course, it will start from 4th. Can I explain to Junaid? When a new president is elected in this country and an old one is leaving, the day that it takes effect is when they exchange the sword like they did in Kasarani. You know, that's exactly what we did, and you were in this committee. We provided that these commissioners, when they leave, they will hand over to the new commission, and that is when the Chief Justice swears in the new commissioners. This one becomes the new office. Number two, and more important.
But you see, that doesn't stop the panel from doing their work.
I don't know.
It can't stop the panel.
I haven't really gone deeply into the new law. But my understanding is that we have to give the president our resignation.
Yes.
Once these negotiations are in place, and we all agree to the new package, whatever it is, then we give our resignation. And once we do that, that's when the selection panel will be appointed. Okay. If that is the case, then it will leave a lacuna.
Right.
So
no, that's not true.
But I don't understand. But if the but we are always ready, because we are Kenyans also, that there should be no vacuum in this commission.
Okay.
That there should be no vacuum in this commission.
Yeah, I don't know.
So that just right now, let me just finish. Let me just finish. The worry of Honorable Junet and the rest should not be about us.
Okay, let's finish. Honorable Junet, on 4th, if this selection panel starts its job, and we have them waiting for the new IEBC commissioners, you won't have a problem with that, will you? If it starts its job.
That's right. But you see, I want to dispense with this issue of vacuum that's being propagated by Senator Murkomen and the commissioner. IEBC, just a minute. IEBC is an institution. It has a CEO, it has a secretariat. It's not about commission.
That's where it goes. Finally, there's an agreement here. I don't know what you think at home. You be the judge. Keep talking to us. #242 on Twitter using the hashtag. The big question, Honorable Commissioner Letangule.
Yes.
What will be your minimum demands?
Irreducible minimum demand. You see, we have already given an indication, even before negotiations started, to say.
What will be expected?
No, we said as commissioners, we will not be stumbling block. But because we are doing something unconstitutional.
So whatever you'll be given, you'll be okay with it as you leave? Or it has to meet some demands that you want?
They put their words themselves. They said a dignified exit.
Okay,
I will cling to those words.
Leave it there, very important. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for making time for us. Keep talking to us. Like I said, #242 on Twitter using the hashtag. The big question is back after this break.